Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Young here, and today I'm back in our Fortnite video. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys the best linear and also the best exponential settings to use if you guys are looking to have the best aim possible. So after all the updates as far as the aim assist nerf and changes, I found the best settings to use for linear and also exponential if you guys are strictly looking to have the best settings for aim. So if you guys are looking for some very good settings to improve your aim, definitely stay to the end of the video because these settings are very good. And real quick before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. I give away 2,000 V-Bucks every single Friday. So if you guys want to take part in this giveaway and win some free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys do turn on post notifications so you guys get notified for every single new video and when I announce the winners. And lastly, leave a comment down below of either your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account, and you guys will be automatically entered into the next giveaway. And as well, if you guys want to support me in the item shop, go down to the bottom right, click on support a creator, type in my creator code, which is Young Humor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator. And alright guys, let's go right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I wanted to be showing you guys the best settings to use if you're looking to have the best aim possible for linear and exponential settings. I do have both of those in this video. So if you guys are struggling to aim with linear or exponential settings, I'm going to show you guys the best settings to use that you guys can use to improve your aim if you feel like aiming is a part of your game that you feel like you're lacking in. So these are the settings that I recommend as far as the linear settings. If you want the best aim possible, these aren't the best for every single scenario, because I think when it comes to settings, it really is subjective, and some of you guys might like a little bit higher sensitivity or lower sensitivity, but I do feel like if you're just focusing on aim, these are in fact the best settings to use. So if you guys are curious on what those settings are, as far as my building and editing, I have it on about a 2.3 and my horizontal and vertical speed on a 44%. And the reason why my X and Y sensitivity is so low, I mean, you can play on a 46 or maybe 48% if you would like, but the reason why I play on such a low X and Y sensitivity is because of all the nerfs they've done to aim assist over the past couple weeks. They've done 3 nerfs in 2 weeks, and I've lowered my sensitivity every time. So I went from 48%, they nerfed it, down to a 46%, and then they nerfed it again, so I went down to 44%. So that's why I do play at 44%. I think that's a perfect X and Y sensitivity to hit the most amount of close range shots possible. Then my ADS sensitivity is 11% on both, and I have a look damping time of a 0.07%, which I'll explain. As far as the look damping time, it's kind of like an extra dead zone. So if you feel like you're struggling to hit shots from range, I think that having a little bit of a look damping time, anything between like a 0.04 and like a 0.10, I would say is a really good range, or maybe 0.14. I feel like it's a little bit on the high end, but I would say anything below like a 0.10 could be a really good look damping time to try out if you feel like you're missing shots. As far as my dead zones, I actually do play on a 10% and 9%. I don't know why I had it on 10-10. So 10% and a 9% for my look dead zone, and then I foot control it off. So these settings I feel like are the best for aiming as far as linear settings. As I said, everyone has their preferences. Some of you guys may like a little bit higher sensitivity, but like I said, when every single time that they nerfed aim assist, I lowered my sensitivity. So I was on a 48%, they nerfed it, I went down to a 46%, and they nerfed it again, so I went down to a 44%. This might be a little bit low for you guys, but I feel like this, if you want to have the best accuracy possible close range, I feel like this is very good. And like I said, when it comes to sensitivities, it's a give and take. So playing on a low X and Y sensitivity, a 44%, it can be a little bit difficult if you're trying to hit maybe longer flick shots. So if you're trying to hit the best flick shots possible, you're probably not going to be able to do that on this sensitivity. But I feel like as far as consistency, as far as aim, I think this is a very good setting to choose. But like I said, 44% is what I'm playing on. So as far as my ADS sensitivity, I do play on 11%. I play on 10%. The reason I bumped it up 1% is because I feel like this is a really good balance between close range and long range. So when you're aiming down your sights, when it comes to long range, you want to be able to have a really slow ADS sensitivity so you can track players better from range. But when it comes to close range situations, you want to have a little bit higher of an ADS sensitivity, because if someone jumps from the left side of your screen to the right, so they're right next to you, and they jump from the left to the right, you have to have a high enough ADS sensitivity to where you can track them from your left side of your screen to your right, and you're only going to be able to do that if you play on a little bit higher ADS sensitivity. 11% is definitely not high, but for me, playing on a 9% or 10%, I definitely feel a little bit of an increase. So I feel like 11% is the best way to go. And I do have a 0.07 look damping time, so this also helps quite a bit when it comes to hitting those long range shots. So for look damping time, the best way to explain it, it's like an extra dead zone. Really, the best way to understand how it feels is just to try it out for yourself, throw it on in creative, just pump it up to the max, and you guys will see how it feels. So I feel like a little bit of a look damping time is really essential to having the best aim possible. And of course, the last setting you want to have is the foot controller setting. Have this setting off. It adds input delay, and any sort of input delay is going to cause inconsistencies and cause you to miss shots. So you want to make sure you have this setting off if you guys have this setting in your controller options. So going into my exponential best settings, so those are my linear settings, and I want to show you guys some really good exponential, because I know there's a few guys who do play on exponential, and playing on exponential, in my opinion, is far better for aiming than linear settings. Especially after all these nerfs, you're able to hit shots way more consistently on exponential settings than linear. But the reason why I still play on linear is just going to be just for the simple fact of building and editing. It's just much easier to do on linear settings, but exponential, as far as aiming, is definitely the way to go. You're going to be far more accurate on exponential settings than you will be on linear settings, but there is kind of trade-offs as far as building and editing. And as far as my exponential settings, I'll put them back up on the screen again just in case you guys missed them. So going up into my build and editing sensitivity, I play on a 2.2 for my build and edit mode sensitivity, while bumping up my horizontal and vertical speed up to a 48%, and then going into my ADS sensitivity and bumping up that sensitivity to a 13%. So, and then keeping the look damping time the exact same. So for these settings, it's just a little bit higher sensitivity as far as X and Y, but because of the way exponential works and the smaller analog stick movements you're able to make, it is much easier to play on a higher sensitivity on exponential than on linear. Or if you, or just I think a better example, if you play on a lower sensitivity on linear settings, really just feel like a higher sensitivity as opposed to exponential, because exponential, it's basically if you move just a little bit left to right, it's a lot slower versus if you turn all the way around. So it's going to feel a lot slower on a high sensitivity on exponential versus a low sensitivity on linear. But like I said, these are the settings that I recommend for exponential. I feel like these are very good for aiming, but when it comes to the differences between exponential and linear, there are certain trade-offs. Like for example, it is by far undisputably way easier to aim from long range on exponential settings as opposed to linear. But one of the major trade-offs you get is just basically how smooth everything feels. So when you're building and editing, it really feels not as smooth as you would want to. So that's really the biggest and only trade-off a lot of people have as far as exponential and linear. But it really is a big one, because building and editing as far as free building is so much easier on linear settings. You can still build pretty efficiently on exponential. You can do 90s very well, but if you're doing any sort of advanced retakes or anything major, it can be much more of a hassle and a little bit more difficult as opposed to linear settings. But as I mentioned, exponential settings, if your aim is just one of the things that you just can't get over, I would probably recommend to you guys exponential settings. If you suck at building anyway, you might as well just play on exponential settings, because your aim is going to be pretty good on these settings. So definitely give them a try if you feel like your aim is lacking in either exponential or linear settings. Give them a look. Tell me what you guys think. I think these settings are the very best as far as accuracy. And like I mentioned earlier, not every setting is right for every person, because as the linear settings, as you can see, they're pretty low settings. Maybe not my building and editing, but as far as the sensitivities, they are pretty low, and some of you guys maybe like higher sensitivities a lot better. So maybe in the future I'll maybe make videos on the best high and low sensitivities for linear settings. If you guys want to see that, let me know. But anyways, that's wrap it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you found this video very helpful, make sure you guys do hit that like button. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Make sure you guys do turn on those post notifications so you guys can get notified for every single new video. And as well, every single day on this channel, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I do live stream solos. So if you guys want to see me play live and just see me run up some solos, make sure you guys slap on those notifications. And like I said, 6 o'clock every single day here on this channel. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching the video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.